There are several ways when knitting and crocheting can support mental well-being. Here are 4 mechanisms backed by research and theory. And first one is repetitive rhythmic movements like a moving meditation. The repetition can lower physical stress markers and promote calm. Second, flow and focus. Stitches, patterns demand focused but manageable attention, potentially flow state, less rumination. Third, tangible progress and accomplishment. Finishing a row or project gives quick success, boosting mood and self-efficacy. Fourth, social connection. Group crafting and online communities reduce isolation and enhance belonging. And now let me give you some practical guides on how you can help your mental health and hopefully your physical health as well. The first one is start small. Try a scarf, a simple granny square, or a small coaster. Short project let you finish and feel that achievement. And granny squares always can grow to something big. For example, if you create 10 granny squares or 20, then you will be able to assemble them in a beautiful scarf or a cardigan. Second, pick calming yarns and colors. So for example, from my personal experience, don't try to knit something really dark. Don't try to work with the black yarn because they're the worst for calming you down. So I would suggest neutral colors, something like that, and any natural colors and fibers will be perfect. And also now is the perfect season for soft yarn, so if you pick any chunky wool, it will be perfect for calming you down. Next one is set a tiny repeatable routine. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day will make a difference. Day by day, if you dedicate 10 or 15 minutes a day, within a week you will build yourself a nice healthy habit. Group or solo, doesn't really matter, both will work. Just if you feel isolated, you always can find a group of knitters or crocheters who will be happy to accept you in their little group. The social aspects are perfect for well-being. And now let's get to these little tips I promised you in the beginning. So, I noticed that my sleep quality is very closely connected to my knitting or crocheting. If you had a really busy and stressful day, give yourself at least 30 minutes or 1 hour before you go to bed. Sit comfortably, place your yarn and needles or hook where you can reach them. Take a slow breath in and out and let yourself to empty your mind from all the stress and worries. I always keep a simple knitting or crochet project on the side for myself so I can wind down in the end of the day. It is a project you don't need to concentrate too much, and you definitely don't need to complete a marathon right now. Just repetitive activities and any natural fibers will do. I can guarantee you that in 30 minutes or maybe 40 minutes, your brain will ease and you will start yawning. I will be honest with you, when I took a break from knitting or crocheting, my sleep quality went downhill. I slept for about 5 to 6 hours per night, definitely was struggling to fall asleep. So it could take me an hour before I really fell asleep. But since I got back to my unwinding sessions before bed, my sleep quality definitely improved. Beyond mental well-being, knitting and crocheting can also support your physical health, and not just yours, but your pets as well. Both through the activity itself and the garments you make. And first of all, it hands, finger and arm health. The repetitive, low-resistance movements involved in knitting and crochet act like gentle, targeted exercise for small muscles of the hands and forearms. Occupational therapy literature and recent trial show that craft-based activities can improve hand function after injuries and are used as a low-intensity therapeutic exercise. Second is natural fiber. Natural fiber like wool and lamb's wool, merino wool, alpaca wool have useful physical properties. They regulate temperature, breathe well, and hold insulating air pockets that help keep the body warm without overheating, which can improve comfort during colds or when sleeping. Wool has also been shown to resist odor building up and bacterial growth compared with some synthetics. The next one is warm garments and symptom comfort for cold and flus. Because of wool's thermoregulatory properties, handmade woolen scarves, hats and jumpers can increase comfort, helping maintain body temperature, which can make symptoms easier to tolerate during cold. There is no evidence that clothing treat viruses directly, but better thermal comfort, health, rest and recovery. And here I would like to mention about this little fluffy garment I have in front of me. This is my go-to healer from colds, flus, anything, especially muscle pains. This beauty have been completed 6 years ago, almost 6 years ago, and I love it because every time when I feel under the weather, when I don't feel well and I feel like I'm getting something really serious and my neck and my back and my muscles aching all over the body, I usually put it on. Usually I just put it on. Usually I just put it on like a sweater on top of my pajama and go to bed. And by the morning, I don't feel anything, any bad symptoms whatsoever. So yes, I wouldn't say it clear viruses, but it definitely helped. It helped me. That's what I can say. And by the way, this sweater made of 100% merino wool. And last but not least, let's talk about our fluffy friends, our pets, cats, dogs, guinea pigs. It's important to note that knitted pet sweaters are commonly recommended by vets for senior or short-coated dogs in cold weather. The extra warmth can reduce stiffness and make walks easier for arthritis pets. Knitting and crochet have been used. Here we go, fluffy friends. But an important note, while many people, like myself, find benefits, the scientific literature also reminds us that more rigorous research needs to pin down who benefit the most and how to structure intervention. And follow that note, a few cautions. Crafting shouldn't replace the professional mental health therapy when it needed. When someone is in a crisis or severely depressed, knitting or crochet can be useful as a complementary activity, but first of all, they should seek a professional advice. Also, another thing to remember about, don't overwork yourself, because if you get too far, you can obviously hurt your joint and muscle, can cause a strains in your hands. So be careful, don't go too far, too quick, and take your breaks. You always can try your local yarn shops. They always run beginners workshops, and online platforms have tutorials and supportive groups. The same here on my YouTube channel. You can find few really easy to do tutorials. If you want to design a well-being program, start with short session, about 20 to 30 minutes. Focus on simple, achievable projects and include time for social connection and reflection. If you try a short knitting or crochet session this week, try to note how did you feel before and after, and tell me in a comment, do you like knit or crochet? How has it helped you? And I leave all link on researches in the description to this video.